Hi, I'm Namrata Rao. I've been an editor for more than 18 years now, and I've just turned director.
Hi, I'm Vimal Chandran. I'm a multi-disciplinary artist.
I am Vir Saini. I'm a content producer.
I'm Ganesh Vanare, and I'm a content creator.
What is up, Internet? Welcome to Brut Table, an Adobe Creative Cloud edition. I have a super fun panel today. Today we're going to be talking to our industry's top leading creative professionals and artists, get into their minds, see what their creative process looks like. It's very nice to meet you guys. Vimal, are you from Kerala?
Yeah.
Malayaliano?
Ade.
Natil evadaya?
Palakkad.
Okay, wow, very cool. I mean, I don't want to play favorites as a host, but he's my favorite. Guys, how did you guys enter the creative industry and what was your learning curve?
Well, I mean, I graduated to be a coder. I studied IT, and I knew a little bit about computers because of that. But I also figured that this is not something I want to be doing. And I had this vague notion that I want to be an artist. So I tried out a lot of different things, and then finally went to film school. I had to do in-pin, safety pin to choose one of the specializations, and I chose editing. I learned to edit on a Steenbeck. We in film school we used to edit actual physical films. As soon as I started working, I realized that's not how editing happens anymore. Then you move on to things like Premiere and non-linear video editing, as you call it.
Even though my father was a Maths teacher, he had a keen interest in art and music and stuff like that. So he encouraged me initially. And after that, schooling and all, I studied engineering, obviously. When you are in engineering college, you have all these festivals and magazines, and somebody has to step up and do, and I was destined to do that. Yeah. And in my college, there was printing technology, so they have all the designing books in the library. So me, along with some of my friends from other department, started learning the basics of Photoshop actually. In the corporate environment is something like I'm not very interested in. I mean, it's like every morning getting up and going to office, and I couldn't see that I'm doing again and again. That's the moment I tried to do my own personal project. Like I started doing a lot of paintings and illustration. And the good thing was when you're working in IT, you have money, you know. So I bought all the stuff. I bought the camera, I bought the tablet and everything. And I started experimenting.
At 4, what type of paintings were you doing though?
Whatever I saw at that time when I was a kid, right? And I have the paintings with me.
You still have it?
Yeah,
today?
my father kept all these things at that time. So when I look at it, it's mostly like 3 or 4 people going to school through a paddy field.
What about you, man, Vir?
I was fascinated by advertising and branding and design, and because somewhere I felt that I have a visual edge over people. Like I also used to draw a lot when I was a kid. That back then Facebook advertising and online advertising was very nascent. So it was all statics, and that's where I figured out Photoshop, because we had to make posters and ads and statics. And it went from learning Photoshop to then maybe learning video editing. Me and a friend of mine, we left for Thailand. We found this digital nomad track in Thailand. There's this beautiful place called Chiang Mai thing. So there's this very cute little creator economy over there, like people doing online businesses and people having gigs for each other. For the first time, I think I used a camera properly over there.
Like after my college graduation, I got a good job in an insurance company, and I used to travel by Mumbai local train, and I used to enjoy that. I discovered the app like Adobe Lightroom. I curated so many pieces of things like holding hands in trains. I made a series of work. I love my India so much that I started traveling from from south to north every month, different city, different place. Then I discovered myself that my core interest is people. Then I discovered the Photoshop. It was more, more crazy, more powerful tool.
I want to segue into AI next. We'll start with you, Namrata. How do you think AI has evolved your industry and changed your workflow?
I mean, as an editor, I would say, I mean, you still need the skills of storytelling. So that is what the basis is, whether it's a documentary or it's a short film or web series or a feature film. But it does help in, situations like I was doing a documentary where, we were dealing with a lot of archive material, and those images were very old, from the 60s, 70s. Some of them were destroyed, some of them were really small in size. So something like Firefly, it helped expand and just added amazing elements to it.
What do you think, Vir? Do you use AI in your day-to-day?
We do. One of my videos recently, we wanted to show me running towards and stopping in front of a very old building, like a old institution. We couldn't find a place like that, right? But we found something similar. And all we then had to do was that, like, get a static frame, have me run in and stop and like pant, and like everything around was actually changed by AI. We edited and generated that entire static frame on Photoshop, and I just had to be rotoed in through After Effects.
I don't like wires in my frame.
I hate that, yeah.
If it is there. So now with the single touch in Photoshop,
Correct.
just AI removal features, it really helped me to clean the image very in a good way. So that's how I use in a right way to give me more time, more space to become more creative in my genre.
Like with this coming in, like the bad side of it is that everything will end up looking the same.
Generic,
But
very
the-
generic.
Very
Homogeneous,
generic, right? Like, and but I think the important part for like creators like us is to maybe use that and still make it our own.
For sure. What is one thing you want people to feel when they see the moments you capture?
I want my still photos to people to feel like a movie. In one photo, there should be a lot of more of content. The story, the hero, and whenever I capture a photo, I always the character in the photo I connect to myself.
Considering how vast film editing is, how do you decide what makes the cut and what doesn't?
When you're working as an editor, now I've also directed something, so I know the other side of the story. But when you're working as an editor, I think it's your job to put the director's vision in the best way possible out there. So you go with the intention and you try to make something, like add more dimensions to what has already been shot. Like, what do I feel when I'm watching a film in a theater? Like, that's how I actually got into films. I went for a retrospective of Kurosawa's films, and I saw Rashomon, Yojimbo, Seven Samurai in one day. And I was like, oh my God, like, I've never felt like this before.
Does it ever happen when a director is like, we'll do it this way, but you so strongly feel otherwise?
Yeah,
How
always.
do you handle that? Always. Last week.
Always.
How do you deal with that?
Initially, I used to say, go and fight. And then I discovered that I can just be fired for that. So I don't do that anymore. I have my phrases. I say, oh, is that so? Okay, let's sleep over it. And then I come
Let's
back.
circle back.
No, not circle back. You say, no, I really see your point, but let's just think about it, because I was thinking something else. So let's sleep over it. Then I'll come back after 2 days. I really thought about it for the last 2 days. I don't think it's working.
What's one piece of advice you'd like to offer to somebody who's trying to make it in your industry?
Just get to the table every single day, because editing is something that's a karat vidya. I say it all the time. It's something you get better at as you keep doing. As I said, that it's about showing up.
Honestly, we hate trends. We don't follow trends. When it comes to storytelling on short form, vertical, you can't really tell a very long story, right? So we follow a basic framework of setup, conflict, and resolution. Especially when it comes to social media, you have to always have a pattern interrupt. So every 3-4 seconds, the frame changes.
Well, you are a multi-disciplinary artist.
Yeah.
So how do you decide which medium for which story?
I'm more inclined towards the idea. If I get an idea, which decide which medium I should work on. For example, if I want to tell the stories of people who are affected by climate change, I have done recently something like that. So for that, I personally feel that it will be more authentic if I tell it as a documentary or a set of photography series or something like that. So then comes the second aspect, which is the impact. I recently did a music video for Sushin, which is basically a story about a boy with blue hair meeting an alien. So now this thing, I can even make it as a graphic novel. I can make it as a a children's book illustration. I can make it as an animation, or I can make it as a short film or a music video, whatever. Okay, but this thing has more impact when you see all these things in real, as in a film, right? Then comes the third aspect, which is like, who can actually greenlight the project? It's completely a financial thing.
All right, guys, so now we're going to do the shutter speed, which is a rapid fire, so to speak. I'm going to ask you guys some questions and give us some quick answers. We'll go this way around. Okay, so we'll start with you, Ganesh. Best creative advice you've ever received?
Whatever device you have, it's that's the best device you have. You don't wait for the perfect device or a big device or something. So whatever you have, that's the best you have.
Mine would be work like a lion, not a mule. Like, we have this notion of we have to keep working. I think it's important, especially with creative work. You have to let your creative energy accumulate and then direct it in like a place, rather than having to keep doing it over and over and burning out.
For me, it would be that there is only one rule in editing, and that is that there is no rule.
This is actually a quote from a French conceptual artist. His name is Marcel Duchamp. I don't know the exact quote, but
You're going to say it in French?
no, it's in English. Okay. What art in reality is not the links that exist. Okay. What you see exactly is not the art. Art is the gap. So, which basically tells, instead of looking art as a visual object, art as something which is happening in the mind of the viewer.
Ganesh, what is the weirdest place or moment you have found inspiration for a project?
Buses, bus stations, terminals, airports, basically.
Okay. Anywhere where there's a transit, you find
anywhere. Like whenever I'm commuting somewhere or in transit, unexpected things happens most of the times.
Loving the answers here. Let's go, Vimal. What about you?
It's actually the first illustration I made in a folk sci-fi series where I mixed folklore and science fiction. It was during the COVID time. At that time, I became an uncle. So my sister kid, my nephew, his name was Tanai, was around 6 years old. So finally we went out one day. It was a temple festival. It was almost night, and once we reached there, he is seeing something like that for the first time, So at that time I remembered, I used to look at all the things in this perspective.
Yeah. What's one non-visual art form that influences your visual work?
Music.
Oh wow, that's okay. Did you guys rehearse this or no? A shortcut you use in the creative tools you use for work. Ganesh, we'll start with you.
In Premiere Pro, for auto captioning.
Yeah.
Now, just because with the AI, it's really easy to do it. And in the Lightroom, I like how they select subjective masking. It's really helpful for me.
What about you, Namrata?
Trim is my favorite thing ever.
What about you?
Command open square bracket, I guess. It's for increasing the size of the brush.
Right. I'm learning.
Another one
Please.
I found.
Yeah.
Control S.
Most important.
Most
ever,
underrated.
ever.
Control S.
No, Control S, nothing
Yeah, nothing
exists.
beats it.
You're leading
It's just-
industry professionals.
Just
Well, guys, let's change pace. We have another segment planned. What's in a story? I'm going to give you guys a photo and I want you guys together to bring that into reality from ideation to what it would look like after the video editing processes. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys a photo. You will have 10 minutes to debrief amongst yourselves. What do we think, guys? Talk out loud.
Ten minutes later.
All right, and that's 10 minutes. Our debrief is complete. So I want to hear from you guys. We'll do it in order. I want to hear maybe what the story is first from you, Vir.
Yeah, so what we collectively thought of was that this is a platform that is untouched by time. We want to explore passage of time through a guy's life. We can probably start with a couple with a baby coming in for their like a holiday, and then we cut to scenes of where the baby is grown up. And now he's a boy, he's come back with his parents. But then...
At the same station?
At the same station, right?
In the same frame.
So it's passage of time where...
Well, I've cooked, okay.
Just imagine it's a static train, like a horizontal frame, and there's the door is in the center, and the screenplay like they are coming out, and they are just discussing, they're talking. Sometimes there's a happiness, sometimes there's a sad, there's a fight between girlfriend and him. And that's how the story moves.
Why are they fighting though? What happened?
So that's not
That
important.
That's not
know,
like,
because
That's
we are...
art is the gap, I told you.
It's sort of what she
that we won't
what
tell.
she
That you need to come.
I see.
Yeah.
That you just see that one thing, but it tells you so much.
Interesting.
So something happens in his life eventually where he's now middle-aged and he comes back, right? And he could not be in a good place in his life. He's come alone, but then we see progression of things getting better, and then he comes with his partner, then he comes with his child.
And that child, the new child, becomes the new protagonist.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like
It's
a
never ending.
loop.
It's a never ending.
So this station is basically a place where things loop.
The train is a metaphor of time.
From an editing POV, how are we bringing this into life?
I think it will be interesting. I mean, though they haven't given me a lot of work because it's the same frame. But of course, I mean, then it will be about the performance and how effectively you can see this passage of time.
Yeah.
And feel this loopingness, like how life goes through different seasons and then it restarts. I mean, there is no real end.
Even there will be subtle VFX,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, the station has some changes.
And at the end of it, maybe the takeaway being that life goes on, things
Yeah.
may change,
Yeah.
seasons may change, you may go through different things, but life goes on.
Okay guys, well I had a lot of fun talking to you guys. My name is Nal Ranjit and I've been your host. This was another episode of Brut Table. A huge thank you to all our creative professionals who have joined us. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this. I've had a lot of fun. Cheers guys.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you.